working with the quality of airflow through our body. So when we breathe in a lot of bad air, like is what we are all breathing in Denver right now. Learning to make sure you're breathing through your nose is really important. If you're a habitual mouth breather, and we all breathe through our mouth at some points during the day, like right now I am because I'm talking, and that's often how it ends up is we breathe through our nose when we're talking. I mean, through our mouth. But as often as we can breathe through our mouth through the day, the better we are at filtering the air that goes into our lungs. So it's really important. Oops, hold on one second. Did that work? Can you all see me? Christine, can you see me? Okay. Um, okay, so breathing through your nose is really, really important when the fire, really all the time, but especially when the air quality is as poor as it is right now. I'm sure you're feeling the effects, maybe a little bit of a sore throat, maybe a little bit of a dry throat, maybe burning eyes, maybe your lungs feel heavy. If you have asthma, maybe you're having even more symptoms come from the fires. So we're going to work a little bit with this today. And one of the important things, so when you breathe through your nose, a few things happen. One, the air gets warmed very well. Your sinuses get a chance to bathe your breath. So the breath doesn't go, it's not a direct shot right down to your lungs like it is when you breathe through your nose. It has this passageway to kind of meander through all these caverns of our sinuses, layers of our sinuses, and they do this beautiful job of preparing the air for our lungs. So it's kind of like anything, if you prepare for something, usually it's received a little bit better, kind of warming things up. So not only does it get the temperature just right, but there's so much filtration that happens in the sinuses that helps us with the particulates that are in the air, to kind of lessen their impact. It's not going to totally lessen their impact, but it will make it a little bit better than if we are breathing through our mouth as far as the smoke is concerned. And then lastly, there's an antibacterial quality, an antiviral quality to bathing the air through your sinuses. We're so beautifully made, right? It's so amazing how we have all these things built in if we just manage to breathe properly, which means breathing through the nose. So I hope that's enough of a carrot dangling to really encourage you. It's so easy to just kind of go to the habitual state of mouth breathing because we all tend to be mouth breathers at some point. So as much as you can in your practice and in your day, check in with yourself and see, oh, I'm breathing through my mouth again. Let me see if I can breathe through my nose. So grab a couple tissues if you need to blow your nose, because that can sometimes be the first thing that kind of prevents us from breathing through our nose is when our nose is stuffy. So things like a neti pot or just keeping your nasal passages as clear as possible is a really good thing. We're going to do a few different breath techniques through the practice today. But the most important thing I want you to think about is just simply breathing through your nose and modify your practice accordingly. So if something gets too challenging and you notice you start breathing through your mouth to speed up the breath, back away what you're doing and try to keep the emphasis and the commitment to breathing through your nose. All right, so let's sit up straight and tall and close your eyes and take a moment to just first drop into the body. Where has your mind been today? Have you been busy? Have you had a lot going on in your brain, a lot going on in your schedule? See, are you tired? Are you energized? Did you sleep well last night? And how have the fires, and now Ruth, I know you're all the way over there in Scotland, so maybe it's not affecting you as much, but here in Denver, the air quality's been terrible. So how has it impacted you? Do you even notice if there's an impact? Are you aware? So as you come into the body, let's find the ease, set the table for the breath. So find the ease in your shoulders, find the ease through your face, relaxing your jaw and your tongue. Organize your spine. Feel that sense of expansion where you're in a steady state on your pelvis so that you can both ground and expand. And then let's begin to notice the breath. Gently seal your lips so you don't have to, clamp down your lips, but gently seal your lips. Let your tongue relax behind your teeth. And let's notice the pathways of the breath. Can you feel your breath moving in through your nostrils? Can you feel the temperature? Do you sense whether or not you have one nostril more open than the other, one sinus bed more open than the other side? Try to tag, a little molecule of breath and observe, follow the pathway from the tip of your nose in through your sinuses. Can you feel that? And let it travel all the way down as you take each breath. See if you can follow a little bit of a pathway down into your trachea, into your bronchi, branches going ever further outward in your trees of your lungs. A lot of times when we're breathing, we're focusing on the apparatus of breath, like the diaphragm and the rib cage, things that move. And of course, feel into these spaces, but see if you can actually travel inside the lungs. Observe what you can through your nose, your sinuses, the pathways from your sinuses down your trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, all the way into the alveoli, those little sacs of gas exchange. Can you feel your right lung versus your left lung? Do you sense subtly that you have more capacity to breathe in one side versus the other, anywhere down the path from your nostril to your lung? Okay, now turn your attention to, instead of, one little tree, right? Like we're getting very focused. Now kind of broaden your view to the forest and feel the nature, the rhythmic nature of breathing. How nice it is to be expansive and to condense, to feel that wave that the breath is within you. Can you let the mind stay in the wave, the energy of it? What is the quality of inhale? What do you invite in? What is the quality of exhale? What do you release? And lastly, before we open our eyes or come off our seat, even if your eyes are open, let's have deep gratitude for the lungs, for soup to nuts, the nose, the nostril tips, all the way down, everything that is a part of your capacity to breathe. Your ribs, your muscles, your nervous system, your lungs themselves, everything that is made possible by the harmonic working of your body so that you can take in oxygen and release what's no longer needed, carbon dioxide, and all the other little things that the breath takes in and lets go. Let's have deep gratitude for the emotional quality of the breath, the way it can soothe us, support us, alert us, comfort us. Be thankful for the prana, not just the oxygen that keeps us alive, but the prana, the energy that we receive, that we give. And place your hands together at your heart. What do you need today in your practice? How can good breathing help you with this? Okay, and then let's release the hands and come onto your back. So as you come to find your way, make sure that you stay committed to this breathing through the nose as much as you can in your practice today. So find your way onto your back and then stretch your arms overhead. We're going to do some work to prepare the lungs to receive. So let's stretch the right side and stretch the left side. Remember, stay connected to breathing through your nose. Have just a gentle closure. If you've ever experimented with taping your mouth shut, then you'll know that it's hard to stay consistently nose breathing. And then release your arms and bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. All right, and then let's go ahead and open the knees up and draw them back in. Open the knees up and draw them back in. So just kind of warming the hips a little bit, letting them loosen. And keep your right knee into your chest, stretch your left leg long on the floor and wiggle out your toes, roll your ankles, see what it feels like to move around in your feet. How's your breath? Change sides. So your exhale, if you have a burning desire to open your mouth, that's when to do it, all right? So it's good to just keep your mouth shut if you can and really train yourself to breathe through your nose. But if something's got to give, let the exhales come out through the mouth. Try to maintain the inhales through the nose as much as you can. Breathing out through the nose has benefits too, but something's got to go. That's what's going to go. All right, so let's stretch open. Feel the release. Open up your arms and legs. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your wrists, your ankles, your toes. Get the tips of your body to awaken. And then exhale, round in, chin up. Let your head come to. One more time, open to your starfish. Spread out your limbs. Exhale. Draw knees and chest in. One more time. Find the bigness. Exhale, find the smallness. And then release your head down onto the ground, arms out to the side. And you don't have to cactus your arms. You can if you want, but stretch through your fingertips. Take your feet hip width apart or wider, maybe even wide to the edge of the mat, and rock left and right. Just kind of come finding your way, moving through your limbs. And then as we stretch left, or knees left, stretch your right arm up over your head and expand it to wherever you can. Stay here for a moment and feel the side of your waist. Try to open up things there a little bit. Take a deep breath through your nose. And then exhale, come back center, drop knees over to the right. Stretch your left arm out. And see, do your two sides feel differently? I know that on one, when I stretch my right side, I feel the stretch a lot more than when I stretch my left. So just notice what the little subtleties are in your body. And then knees back up. Bring the knees into the chest, head up, give a good squeeze. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side. Come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so keeping your mouth closed if you can. Let's breathe well. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine. Take your time to feel into some cat-cows. So, our spine is such a beautiful thing. So let's enjoy. Also feel into how much your rib cage and shoulder blades have mobility. through your rounds of cat-cows. Are you able to keep your mouth shut, right? Is it hard? Is it getting harder to breathe through your nose? All right, swirl this pose around any way you want to swirl it around. Move your hips, move your shoulders, move your neck. All right, and then inhale, reach your right arm up in the air. Exhale and slide that shoulder down and find a twist. So focus on the sensation of your ribs touching your spine, touching your vertebrae, where those joints are. Open things up. Breathe into those joints as best as you can. Can you feel the little bit of squeeze on the lungs? Inhale, reach that arm all the way up. Exhale, place it back down. Change sides, arm up, left arm up. Slide that arm through, come into a twist, relax your eyes. Breathing well. Trying to breathe through the nose as much as you can. It's okay if you take, if you kind of lose it a little bit and need to breathe through your mouth, but try to challenge yourself to be uncomfortable. All right, and then inhale, reach that arm all the way back up. Place the hand down onto the ground, curl your toes under, and find your way into dog pose. So let's enjoy all the space we have in this posture. Feel free to pedal your feet. You can bend a knee, drop an opposite heel, come into the flow of sensation. What are you feeling in this pose? Do you have a lot of sensation in your legs? How about in your ribs or in your shoulders? Deep breaths here. Melt your head. Find your inhales. Find your exhales. Feel your lungs get as much of the fill as you can. Feel the rib cage expand. Feel the diaphragm move. All right, let's walk our feet forward. Come into Tanasana. Shake your hips a little bit. Shake your tail. Inhale for a halfway lift. Hold open the feet. So spread the bones of your feet as wide as you can. Soften the backs of the knees a little bit so the shins move forward and the thigh bones move back. And you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Lift and widen the sit bones. Find the breath. Are you still able to breathe through the nose? And then release and melt a little bit. Push off your feet. Rise all the way up, arms coming to the sky. If you're capable, if that feels good in your body, open things up, lean back, open the chest, cactus, open the arms, and then exhale and round your chest. Forearms come to touch. Interlace your fingers, press your palms straight up in the air. You can take your feet wider apart if you want to for a broader base. Take a deep breath. We're going to arc over to the right. Feel the stretch. You can undo the hands and rather grab onto the wrist if that's more comfortable. All right, come back up, interlace your hands the opposite way. Press your palms toward the sky. Come on over to the left. If you want to switch and grab onto the right wrist with the left hand, that's fine too. Whatever hand position is best for you. How is your breathing now? Inner spiral the thighs, root into the feet. Feel that sense of grounding? Come back up, cactus the arms again, open the chest, and then release and shake out the hands. Interlace your fingers behind your back, open across your chest, bend your knees, come forward. Have your arms move away from your spine wherever they'll go. Relax your neck. Breathe deeply. Release your hands down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Step back to dog pose. Feel the length in your body again. Deep breath in. Deep breath away. All right, let's come forward into a plank. Start to work the core of your body. See if you can feel the obliques, the transverse abdominis. Is there some resistance? Can you have the diaphragm move against that resistance? Inner spiral the thighs. Okay, and then let's put our knees down to the ground, come all the way to the floor. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. Get some mobility. Those shoulder blades can move. Inhale, cobra pose. Open your chest. Exhale and release back down. Let's try twice more. Use your breath. Rise up on the inhale. Come down on your exhale. Try not to hold the breath. One more time. Stabilize your core, your legs. Exhale and melt. Take your arms back behind you. Just lift your arms and your legs a little bit off the floor. And take some deep, full breaths. Let your diaphragm move into the ground. Just building some strength in your diaphragm. Your hands and feet and legs are just hovering a little bit off the ground, stable through your core. Keep breathing. All right, and then melt and relax. Come back to child's pose. Settle the hips toward the heels. If that's too deep of a pose, come onto all fours first, and then move around in whatever way you need, and then eventually come to child's pose. So take your time. Just like the air needs to kind of be bathed in the sinuses, sometimes with extreme movements in our body, we need something in between. So the cat-cow can be a nice adjunct before coming into child's pose. Once you're here, walk the hands over to the left. Drop weight into the sit bones. Breathe into the side of your body. Open up those ribs. Feel all the space you can for your lungs to touch the inner walls of your rib cage. Balloon them out. And then come back to center and walk the hands over to the other side. Balloon your lungs into the ribs. See if you can feel the lungs touch the inner side of the rib cage. Relax your neck. Keep breathing through your nose. And then come back to center. Come back up to dog pose. Spread open your wings. Let your shoulder blades broaden. Let your hands broaden. Let your feet broaden. So we're not collapsing in onto ourselves. So sometimes we can feel the shoulder blades kind of slide onto each other and sink toward the spine. See if you can broaden them just a little bit. As you do that, stay grounded through the index finger mounds. Have your breath. Take an inhale. Reach the right leg up in the air and stack open that hip. Feel the breath travel through your side. Breathe into the belly. Let the belly expand. You can bend your knee or keep it straight, whatever feels good. And then square up the hips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Push all your air out. Inhale, breathe all your air in. One more time, exhale, push all your air out. How are you doing with breathing through the nose? I know it gets hard. One more time. Just going to come to a lunge now. So bring your foot forward and rise on up. So as you come to crescent lunge, get your bearings, find your ground. Notice, if it's challenging you to stay in your nasal breathing, back away, stop doing what you're doing and just pause for a moment. So there's always ways to modify every single thing you're doing. Stay in the focus of your breath. When you're ready, lift your arms to wherever you want them to be. They can be up, they can be out, whatever feels good. If you're having trouble with your breath and you're still in this posture, maybe keep your hands down onto your hips. This is a little bit more gentle for your breathing. Whatever you're doing, see if you can feel that your diaphragm and your ribs are doing a lot of moving. You're not just relying on your neck and shoulders. All right, and then release the hands down. Walk your back foot forward. Fold in half. Relax your neck. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and come back down. I promise we won't forget the three-legged dog. Just step back with your left foot, right foot forward, or left foot forward, right foot back. So come into a lunge. We'll go backwards through this a little bit. So find yourself, ground. Find your breath. Put your arms anywhere your breath says is best. So experiment. Try different places for your upper body. So you can lean forward a little bit, you can lean up, you can put your arms in different places. What's giving you that sense that it's easier to breathe through your nose, that you have full capacity in your lungs, both for the inhale and the exhale. Remember, if something needs to go through the mouth, let it be the exhales. All right, and then release the hands down onto the ground. Let's lift that left leg high in the air. Let's stack it open. Notice what happens to the right side. Do you collapse? See if you can lift onto that armpit a little bit. Notice your left leg in the air. Do you want to bend your knee? Do you want to straighten your leg? Breathe into the sideways. And then square the hips up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all your breath out, knee to nose. Inhale, bring it on back. Exhale, bring it on in. All your breath out. Inhale, bring it up. 2 feet onto the ground. Dog pose. All right, and then come down. Child's pose for a moment. Stretch your hips back toward your heels. Breathe into the back of your body. Okay. And we're going to come up to stand. All right, so this is the beginning of a couple different types of breath work we're going to do. First, we've done this before. I want you to just invite aliveness in your lungs. So we're going to give yourself some tapotment. Tapotment is a type of massage. So I'm using like my arms, see my hands, they're kind of scooped. You can do this with fists if you want, and take the thumb side of your fist. So you can, do fists, or you can do cups. All right, so it always makes me cough a little bit. So just get in all the nooks and crannies of your lungs that you can. And you can do left, right, or you can put them at the same time, whatever is your natural rhythm. Go above and below your breasts. Try to get into, the sides of your lungs. If we were in a class together and it was acceptable to be closer than 6 feet apart, then I would have you be doing this to each other's backs. So if you have someone in your life that can do this to the back of your body, when the air quality is bad as it's been, this is a great thing to do every day. So try different techniques, try the scoops, try the fists. Get as far back there in the back of your lungs as you can. And then let's pause. Take some deep breaths. Feel into the whole pathway again. The nose through the sinuses. Now, just to increase the sensation in our lungs, this is not a technique that helps with air filtration, but it's a technique that I think helps us feel our lungs, like feel our actual lungs. So curl your tongue. This is a great thing to do if you're really hot. The bad thing about it is you're breathing through your mouth. So it's not something you do all the time, but it's a cool technique. So go ahead and curl your tongue. If you can't curl your tongue, you can do this behind touched teeth. So just touch your teeth and you're going to breathe in through your touched teeth like a hiss. If you can curl your tongue, you're going to breathe in through your curled tongue. When you exhale, no matter which you're doing, relax everything and breathe out normally. So every time you inhale, this is called Satali. Anytime you inhale through the Satali breath, see if you can feel the cool air kind of like a drink inside your lungs, like you're pouring cool water, ice water down into the very base of your lungs, all throughout your lungs. Try to travel that pathway beyond just the bronchioles, all the way into your lungs. Get as far as you can with the sensation of cool. So like I said, this isn't exactly the best for filtration of your air, But I think it's a really cool way for you to not only cool off if you're hot, but to get that sense of what your lungs feel like. All right, so let's stop that now and just come into some natural breathing. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Haul your breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and melt. Step the left foot back, come into a lunge. Finding your way. Open the chest. Long exhale, square up the hips, straighten your leg, tuck your chin. Now on your next inhale, bend the knee. Expand the heart. Notice, well, as you breathe through your nose, is it slowing down your breath or speeding up your breath? When you're ready, come into a lunge, rise up again. When you take your arms up, we're going to come into a twist. What I want you to feel in this posture is this sense that the obliques moving you, the strength of the obliques in your body is resistant against the diaphragm. Let the two press against each other. Feel that sense of compression that you have to kind of really work the diaphragm. Let your exhales be as full as possible. Relax your shoulders. Try not to put the breath in the upper shoulders. Stay in the diaphragm. All right. Go ahead and place your hand on your knee. Rise up one arm over to the side. Feel that side body extension. And then cross it over an even deeper twist. Elbow to the knee. Palms can be together or palm can come to the shoulder. Lift the back thigh. Expand through your spine. Stay breathing through your nose. Root your right big toe mound into the ground. Feel the push of the diaphragm. And then unwind. Arms up or out. Exhale, hands down. Step your back foot forward. Fold for a moment. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and release and melt. Step your right foot back. Come to a lunge on this side. Okay. Once you get your legs grounded, once you get your breath steady, go ahead and rise up. Put your arms up in the air if you can. Find a traditional crescent lunge and then swing open your arms out to the side. Stay in the lunge. Try not to climb out. Stay in the depths. Notice the low back. See if you can support with your core. Hug to the midline with your inner thighs. Ground through your feet. Relax the shoulders. Let the breath take you where you want to go. So the exhales, let your obliques do some work against your diaphragm here. Stay breathing through your nose. Relax the shoulders. And then bring your hand onto your knee or thigh. Stretch the right arm over. Find the deep breath here. Extend through the whole side of your body. And then lean forward. Stretch that arm out. Place the elbow on the knee. Either palms come together or your hand can stay on your thigh and your other hand comes to your left shoulder. Lift your right thigh. Wide sit bones. Hug the midline. Ground the feet. Feel the crown grow. Stay inside those breaths. Breathe through your nose. Feel the obliques. Feel the diaphragm move against each other. And then unwind. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Dog pose. Enjoy the evenness, the balance. Enjoy the ease of your breath. Are you breathing through your nose? All right, come forward into a plank. Hold yourself steady. Feel into the deep strength in your transverse abdominis. Let there be resistance of your TA and your diaphragm. You know, they usually work together, but we're holding the TA tight around our core. So the diaphragm has to move despite it. Okay, go ahead and come down to the ground. Knees can come down first. Find your breath. Either bring your arms back out or forward, legs together or apart. Lift your arms, legs, chest off the floor. Find your diaphragm move. Stay inside the breathing through your nose. Deep inhales and exhales. Exhale and melt and find your way back down onto the ground. Come up all fours if you want. Swish your spine around. And come down into child's pose. Breathe through the back of the body as best as you can. All right, so you have a choice. I'm gonna come up to stand to do this, but you can sit to do this. Breath of fire. Okay, so it doesn't matter, standing or sitting, you want a long spine. And if you haven't done this before, bellows breath, it's a sense of you're gonna have a quick pull in of the diaphragm and the inhale just naturally comes. So watch me, listen to me for a moment. This is one you may need to blow your nose for first if you feel like you're stuffy. So it's quick. You can, like I said, be doing this sitting or standing. You want to have this sense of your spine up. You can tuck your chin just a little bit. I still can't bend my ankle all the way, so I can't sit cross-legged or in Virasana, but you can. All right, so the inhale comes naturally. Pull the diaphragm in and up, that Uddiyana Bandha, in and up on your exhales. Only do a few and then relax. Take some breaths. See if you can feel into the ease of your lungs while you're in a break from it. And we'll do 2 more rounds. So the diaphragm is pulling in and up quickly, and then the inhale just naturally comes. Rest. We'll do 1 more round in a moment. This always reminds me of those things you use for a fireplace, the bellows, that kind of feed the fire, putting air on the fire quickly. Okay, and last round, tuck your chin a little bit, chest up. You don't have to go as long as I'm going. If you get dizzy or need a break, stop. Deep breath in. Relax. If you're standing, come onto your seat. If you're seated, come down. We're going to come onto our back. You can have your knees bent or straight. Don't get excited that we're not working anymore. We are. We're just taking a break to feel the breath. Breathing through the nose. Full lung capacity. Full exhales. All right, stretch your arms and legs again, like we do in the beginning. Exhale, knees into the chest. Put your feet back down onto the ground. Arms down at your sides. Take a deep breath. Rock onto the tops of your shoulders and come up into bridge pose. Root your feet, big toe mounds. See if you can feel the heels. Find your way into this posture. Keep the back of the neck as relaxed as you can. Stay grounded through the 4 corners of your feet. Find your breath. So the back of your head can gently press into the ground so you know your neck is soft. Lift the sternum toward your chin. Open the collarbones. Roll open the biceps. Feel your diaphragm fully move in and out or up and down. All right, and then release and come back down. Rest on your back for a moment. Unwind your shoulders. All right, great. And then let's roll over onto our side and come up to dog pose. Okay, extend through your spine.
Find the breath. If that bellows breath makes you dizzy, you just did too much. So if that's the case, just rest in child's pose for a moment and let your breath relax. If you're ready for some activity, feel into the length of your dog pose. Deep breath in, deep breath away. All through the nose if you can manage it. Inhale, right leg lifting. Exhale, knee to nose. All the air out. Inhale. All the air in. Exhale, bring your foot forward. Plant the back heel down onto the ground. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Reach the arms up. Lean back if it's comfortable. Lean forward if your spine likes that better. Find your breathing. Opening to the back bend that's here if it's available to your body. Tip your head back behind your arms. Exhale and release the hands down onto the ground. Walk the back foot forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Step the other foot back. I won't forget about the three-legged dog. Drop at your heel. Rise up. Maybe you're better off with your arms down. Okay? Maybe your breath is better with your arms out. So experiment. Your arms do not have to be interlaced. Your fingers don't have to be interlaced. Your head does not need to sit back. Go where your body offers the best capacity for breathing in this pose. Ground through both feet. Try not to overarch the low back. Extend through the spine. All right, and then release the hands down to the ground. Let's lift that left leg high in the air. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring it on back. Exhale, plant your foot. Dog pose. Come forward into a plank. Hold yourself steady. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, turn your torso to the left, navel to the left. Back to center. Next exhale, torso, navel to the right. Back to center. One more time each side. Let your core do the twisting. How's your breath? And then find neutral. Lower yourself down to the ground. Take your hands back behind you. Come onto your right forearm and grab your left hand onto your left foot. If you can't grab your foot, use a strap or perhaps grab your pants. You can stay low and just stretch your quad. You can come up a little higher and find a little bit more of a back bend. Breathe well. No matter what you're doing, you're breathing through your nose. And then release that leg, switch sides. Left forearm is in front of you, crossed over in front of your mat. Grab onto your foot or your ankle or your pants or a strap with that right leg. Keep the neck soft. Find your breathing. Okay, unwind the leg. Come to lie down on your belly and pick up your feet and windshield wiper them. Okay, 2 legs, 2 feet, grabbing on. Take a deep breath in and rise up. If this pose is not for you, make a different choice. Back of the neck stays long. Knees stay in line with hips. Find your diaphragm. Working for this posture. Breathe in and out. Breathing through the nose. And then relax and melt. Turn your head one side or the other and shake your feet left to right. Okay, come on up. Onto all fours. Swish the spine around. And then find your way back Dog pose. Take your feet wide so your feet touch the outer edges of your mat. Let your belly breathe. Lots of space. Bend your knees if you want. All right. Breathe well. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Exhale, one more time to a lunge. Hand stays on the floor and feel a twist come into your body. Open the chest, lift that arm in the air so the left hand is down on the ground, right arm lifted. Notice if your left thigh is dropping. See if you can lift the left femur bone, wide sit bones, let the twist happen in your torso. Shoulders away from the ears, reach the crown. Are you still breathing through your nose? Release the hand down onto the ground. Walk your back foot forward. Come to a wide squat, maybe even wider than the mat. Elbows can come inside the knees if you want, wherever you go. You can turn your feet out a little bit more if that's more comfortable. Find your breath, long spine. And then rise up. Take a deep breath, starfish the body. Heel toe your feet back in. We're going to take our left foot forward, our right foot back to a lunge. Open the chest. Right hand stays on the ground, left arm lifts in the sky. Maybe you keep your hand on your knee. Maybe your back knee's on the floor. So remember, always modify anything and everything to accommodate your breath. So find your way into this twist. However you're going, shoulders are soft, the spine is growing. The breath through your nose. And then exhale, hand down, last dog pose. Find your way back. Deep breath in. Deep breath away. Walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana. Fold a bit, let your knees bend, shake your tail. Halfway lift. Exhale and melt. All right, let's rise all the way up. Arms coming to the sky. Find your breath. Trace down through the midline. Breathing through your nose. Just observe how, is it getting easier? Has it been harder? Have you had moments where you breathe through your mouth and you come back? Try not to berate yourself if you lose it. Okay, so let's just keep finding it. And we're going to come down onto the ground. You have a choice between pigeon pose and reverse pigeon pose. So choose what's good for your body. If you're in reverse pigeon pose, I would recommend putting your left foot on a wall or a piece of furniture so your upper body can be very relaxed. If you're in pigeon pose, support underneath your head so that you have that sense that your nervous system can relax. Stay inside the breath. Long, steady inhales and exhales. Breathe through the nose as much as you can. And then whatever pose you're doing, let's change to the other side. So if you're in pigeon pose, you can just switch sides or come to dog pose and then switch sides. If you're on your back, just switch your legs. go ahead and relax. All right, let's go ahead and sit up for just a moment. I promise Shavasana is coming. So get on support however you need to support yourself. All right, so ignore, the way I'm sitting. That's just from an ankle injury. If you can sit in Virasana or cross-legged, by all means do so. I'm going to give you a choice because both are good. So you can either do alternate nostril breathing, that is Shoshana, or you can pinch off the top of your nostrils 30 to 40 to no more than 50%. Both sides at the same time. So either total occlusion on one nostril at a time, and then breathing through the opposite, or halfway closed or a little less on both nostrils, breathing through both simultaneously. So you choose whichever you want to do. I know you've all done this before. Okay, so if you're doing alternate nostril breathing, you just take your thumb and ring finger, one on the top of each nostril. That's for either breathing technique. And if you're doing just the half closed, just press gently, okay, until you've closed off the perimeter of your breath just a little bit. And then breathe through that in kind of narrowed passageway. This will open the sinuses. This will give a little pressure to your diaphragm, kind of make you work just a little bit harder, strengthen the breath. It will also slow down your breath and increase your carbon dioxide. This is all good stuff, okay? If you're doing alternate nostril breathing, you're letting one nostril open at a time, and you're going to breathe in and then switch sides. Breathe out through the opposite side and then in through the same. So it goes out, in, switch sides. Breathe out, breathe in, switch sides. So no matter which breathing technique you're doing, you are stimulating a lot of passage of air through your sinuses. This is where we bathe the breath and decrease, we have a lot of capacity in the sinuses to trap pathogens, microbes, as well as just debris in the air from the fires. So really good techniques to help you strengthen your breathing capacity to be able to open the sinuses up and use them as they are meant to be used. Breathing through the nose. If you can breathe out through the nose, if you're doing both sides simultaneously, breathe both in and out through the nose. So after you complete the round that you are within, go ahead and return to a normal, natural breath. Enjoy the ease of breathing. Let's come down onto your back. Lie down. Let's do a simple twist. Move your hips to the right, knees to the left. Come back to center. Scoot your hips over, knees up, drop the other way. And then come onto your back. And let's find some rest. Relax your shoulders. Feel into your version of Shavasana. So whatever, and if there's anything else your body needs, if you want to do a happy baby or just rock with your knees, whatever, take your time. Breathing well. Can you melt your limbs? Is there any part of you that is not letting go easily? Is your diaphragm working well? Is your breath easy? Is your belly soft? Can you still breathe through your nose? Let's begin to deepen our breathing again. Find a bit of movement, whatever is good for your body. So you can wiggle toes or roll through your ankles, moving your wrists, opening, closing your fists, turning your head, whatever feels nice.
And let's find a bit of bigger movement, maybe stretching your arms, maybe bringing your knees into your chest if it feels good. And come on to your side and sit on that. Let's take a moment to drop into your seated posture again. Feel the fullness of your breath. Let's offer our energies out, share your practice with another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.